Well, looky, cookie. Good morning, everyone. I want to start this little stream off by looking at a couple campaign stickers here. We got that one, that one. Gonna give them to my brother because I don't do campaign stickers, but thought I'd put them up there after the Elon Musk interview. I thought it was appropriate, so we'll leave them up there for right now. You see what we got here, don't you? We have a Joe Durbin package that has not been opened. We are going to open this little critter. What the hell we got here? Some crap. And we're going to take a look at what's inside. I think you guys are going to be surprised at what we find inside this package. I got a pretty good idea what's in here. But if it's what I think it is, you guys are going to like it a lot, I think. So here we go with the patented Huffman package opening scissors. Let's do this thing. And you know how I like to reuse packages and packaging. There it is. Everything inside that package. Let me see if I am correct in what I am thinking. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. No, that's not right. And I already let him know about that. I don't think I have exactly what I want. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. But we'll see if they got the package right, because even though I got the invoice in my email, I emailed them back and said this one item was listed wrong. The price is right, but the item is listed wrong. And on the invoice, it's still wrong. So we'll see if they got that straightened out. Now, that would be the first time. And how many auctions have I been to that something has been wrong on my invoice? It's got to be like 25 auctions I've been to. Let's open this bad boy first. What do we got? We got one. Ooh, some slabbage. I think we got slabbage. I know I got some coins. Got a whole bunch of coins in that one. All right. What did we get to start with? We have a 925 Canadian nickel. You know, I like the Canadian large cents, and I do like these Canadian nickels. This is a 1918. Can't hardly see it, can you? King George on there. In the back, it says 5 cent Canada with the crown up on top. I like to collect these little buggers and the large pennies. I really like them a lot. A lot. What do we got here? We got another 50-cent piece. This one's a 63. A 63 50-cent piece. I don't know if I have a 63. I have to look at my paperwork and see, but that's a really nice coin. Really proofy. I'm telling you, if one needed to get graded, that's the one right there. If you can see an imperfection in that, you let me know. Don't worry, I'll look at it under a loop, but. And then I did get some American too. I did get, let's go with the Canadian first, should we? Yeah, let's go with the Canadian stuff first. I did get another Hawk landing. The Birds of Prey series is cool. I like it. The Animal Wildlife series is cool. I like it. This is a very proofy coin also. The 2014, man, is that proofy. Wow. There, I get some coins from Durbin I think should go in and get graded, but let's see. I'm going to put them back here, I think. Yeah. Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to put them up on stands. We're going to have to, because otherwise you really can't see them worth of crap. Oh, we'll put that one right there. That's that 1918 nickel. There you go. Now we'll continue to lay some out here in front. Okay. I won a GAW, but let's look at this American first here. I did get a 1964 D Kennedy. Now, I don't know what I paid for that. Knowing me, the penny pincher that I am. And this is an FS 105 also. Man, that's a nice looking coin. For a 64 Kennedy, that's a nice looking coin. That thing still cartwheels wonderfully. Not very much wear on that little bugger at all. That cartwheel's really nice. I don't know. I'll look at the invoice and see what I did get there, what I did give for it. And then I want a GAW. I got GAW number 3. I like Joe. He puts the sticky note in there that he uses on his table. This is also a Kennedy. This is 69, so this is a 40%er. This one doesn't look as good as the 64. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice coin, but it'll just go in with my American coinage. And yes, I do have American coinage. I have Constitutional. I have, come on, stand up there. There we go. I got a bunch of Ikes that I'm selling. I got some Morgans. I have some Peace dollars. That's about what I got for American stuff. Anyway. Oh, that was cool. That package is kind of cool. This little package has got slabbage in it. I can tell that. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Did I buy? Yeah, I did. We'll say that one for the second one. This one is a cool one. I got an Anax slab MS69 Silver Eagle. And it's a 1988. That's a cool coin. I don't know what I paid for that, but I'll bet I didn't pay that much, knowing the penny pincher that I am. That's a really good looking one too, buddy. I'm telling you. MS69, you would expect it to be, but look how shiny that thing is, man. And obviously hasn't been cleaned. Wow. That is a pretty coin. That one goes in my deep stack. You bet your butt. The Canadian stuff does too, but that one does for sure. And then I have this one. You guys are gonna like this. This is a NGC certified 2010 W disabled veterans coin, of which I am one, and a life member of the Disabled Veterans of America. So I had to get this one. That nice coin, I think. And on it, on the back, it says, take this moment to honor our disabled defenders of freedom. Very nice. Very nice commemorative. I like that. I told you guys would like that. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do for you, because I know what these are. I'm going to move all these over here. And we're going to make room for a couple items. Ooh, got to turn this around so you can see stuff. Uh-oh. Coin down. Canada down. So we'll put that up there. Okay. This is what you're going to want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, be prepared to be mesmerized, because I have done a couple of things. Yep, they got it right, I believe. Yeah, they got it right. Oh, you know already, looking at these packages, what's in them. When you see these little yellow cloths, you know exactly what's in here. We'll leave this one first. I needed this one for Christmas. And we will take these out of the bags. We will save this bag. We're going to open. Oh no, what happened? I have a string that came untied. Well, I had to fix one of the other ones, so I'll fix this one too. Because I want the bags. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have an angel bell. And the Durbin dinger is right there. I know you can hear that. I can't hardly hear it, but I know you can. That's a nice one. What is this one made out of? Let's take a look. Made out of $50 coins. Look like rosies. Yep. Yep, a couple of rosies. There you go. One of my Christmas presents. Well, actually, three of them. We'll get the rest of them down here in just a little bit and show you. But my Christmas shopping is just about done. I really didn't need this bell at all, but when I can pick them up and I think they are cheap enough, I will buy them. It's like the stash boxes. It's like the little bells. There was a nice copper stash box yesterday. Man, I really wanted that one, but little bit too much money. I had already spent as much money as I was going to spend yesterday. Oh, come on, you. There we go. There's our Durbin dinger. This one's made out of $50, $50, $1. So the dollar is an 1879 peace dollar. And the two $50 are don't know. I'm looking for a clue. I think they're Benjis, the halves. And a 925 silver handle. What's this one sound like? Oh, I can hear that one. That one has a nice ring to it. There it is, man. That's what I got from the Durbins. And I got some stuff yesterday, too. So, the dollar was cheap. The Kennedy was cheap. The Birds of Prey. That was the right price. That ANAX ASE, that was right price. Oh, this was definitely the right price. And this one was definitely the right price. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah. That nickel was right. Really right. This one I paid a little extra for. It's Disabled Vets commemorative. I paid a little extra for that simply because I wanted it. Everything else up here was the right price. the right price. That one I paid a little extra for. I'm going to wait for people to come in and chat here. But while I am doing that, I will continue to talk to you guys. And I am going to walk over to my other shelf and get the rest of my Christmas presents. And bring him over here. There. Each of my daughters will get one of these larger bells. Now, I think, let's see. Nope, not this one. This one has been taken by my oldest daughter already. I think this one has been taken by my youngest daughter. My middle daughter has yet to make up her mind about those two. Now, which one do you think she should take? The one with this handle, just a plain handle, just a plain 925 handle? Or do you think she should choose this one with the trees and the road going through it? Let's listen, should we? I prefer this one myself. I prefer this one. She has to make a decision between those two. These smaller bells here, I think my oldest daughter is going to get the one with the longer handle. The other two girls can fight over these two. I don't care. Because they're all the same. Just about all the same. Let's see. Well, I mean, you're so sure about that, Gary. Yep. Okay. Yes, they are. Just about all the same. Yep, this one just has a little bit longer handle on it. That's all. Okay, this bell, if you can see it, has a sailing ship on it. My youngest daughter liked that one. My oldest daughter liked this one because you see that C up there on the handle? Her last name, married last name is Carroll, Carroll. She still has to change her name yet. They got married, what? How many months ago they get married? Oh my God. Beginning of September of last year, and she still hasn't got her name changed yet. So, yeah, but she's already picked that one. Matter of fact, she just left last week, this last week here, to go back to Philadelphia. She had come out to help her mother with her with my wife's sister's funeral, and I was having a surgery at the same time, so she came out to help her mother, and had already had a trip scheduled here this last week for a week, and rather than cancel it and try and get her points back and all that stuff, She just decided that she was going to come back out. So she did. And she just left. So love the girl dearly. She wants to live in Philadelphia. I would not, but you know, up to her. She's been a big city girl her whole life. So when she was born, we lived in a western suburb of Chicago called Bolingbrook. That's where she was born at. So she's been a big city girl her whole life. I was yeah, I lived in big cities, but I don't prefer them. I wanted to get back to the country. So that's what I did, and that's where I'm at. Let's see, how many of these I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How come I got 9? There should be 6 with these bells. Let me see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, that's right. Because I got my bell. I have my bell right there. And I have my snuff box right there. My bell, which you can't see over there, I have to put it over here. This is a mining theme. You see what it is? It's a pan with nuggets in, a shovel, a pick. It's got a rope, goes all the way up the top with a bucket down at the bottom. And this is 3 years of prospectors right here. This is my bell. A little bit higher pitched. And my snuff box. See who's looking at you there. Both of them, top and the bottom. Ikes, 40% Ikes. So that's what I got. These are my 2 right here. I need another angel bell for my little collection here. So I will get that. I have 1 extra of these bells. My wife already has a set. She has a larger set, a larger bell, and an angel bell. So the other bell right here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that bell yet. I don't think I have anybody else in my life that really wants a bell like that, or who I deem worthy. Oh, I know who I'm going to give it to. Yes, I know who I'm going to give it to. I'm going to give it to my mother-in-law. So the one that's left is going to my mother-in-law. What do you think about that? I think that's a good deal. I'll do that. All right. Hi, Mr. Coin Crew. And we have Weldon Carey. Hi, buddy. Scotty Aquati. Cranky's here. Well, we opened a Durbin package. And you can see what we have. I am going to go over some of this stuff again, but we really, I think we really knocked it out of the park this time. Yeah, we'll put you up there. Come on, stay here. And I actually, we'll put this one back here. Which one did I get? I got this one this time, right? Or this one? Nope. Or this one. Which one did I get this time? I don't know. One of them. These I had already had right here, so I'll just leave them right there. But what I did get this time, my mother-in-law is fighting right now a form of bone cancer. She's taking chemo and radiation treatments, and when she needs it, blood transfusions and platelet transfusions. So I'm hoping she makes it to Christmas. Yeah, cranky. I saw that, Bill. I don't know if I had bells before then or not, but I think that's what got me started on them. I'll move these out of the way. We'll move these up here like that because those are the two I got this time. We'll just move these back a little bit. What can't I see over there? You can't see these little bells, so we'll just put them right here. Man, can't even see them back there. Everything's hidden. Okay, so I'll move them up there like that. There you go. And we'll take my snuff box. We'll put that back there too. And like I mentioned, my thumbnail, opening thumbnail for this video. You can see that's me and a young lady. We are at the historic Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. And you may know that from the day the music died. That is where they played their last concert. Big Bopper and Richie Valens, and before their plane crashed. So I go there quite a little for concerts. Yeah, man, I know, cranky. It ain't good. My wife and her other sister Mary, they're taking turns taking her to treatments and stuff. So, and her husband Alan, my father-in-law, he doesn't know what to do. He comes out here, he works around the farm right here because they used to live here. And he owns 160 acres out here that now it'd be my brother-in-law that farms it and his son. And he relies on my mother-in-law for cooking, cleaning, washing his clothes, and he doesn't do much by himself because that's woman's work. And she worked at a nursing home for a long time, so as an aide. And when she retired, she was at home, and that's just the way those old people think. That was a woman's work, and that's what they were supposed to do. Guys worked out in the field. So, yeah, he's beside himself. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He really doesn't. So I just let him come out here, and I have some poles put in for a shed. I was going to make a shed a while back, and I didn't do it. And the poles are starting to lean. So he came out and he pulled them. Now I got to stack them up on a pile. They could have just stayed there. It wouldn't have made any difference, but he came out and cut a dead pine tree down out of the grove. He wanted to cut the other one down, but I beat him to it. Sorry. Uh, what else? He's been out here helping my wife plant trees, new trees in the grove. So, yeah, yeah. I don't know what he's going to do when she does die. I almost think it would be better if he just came out here and lived with us, but I don't know. He is pretty self-sufficient, so he can do those tasks. He just never done them. So he's just gonna have to get used to doing them. Either that or come out here and live with us, one or the other. But he's got 30 acres where he lives now, and there's a new house built on there. That's only 25, 21, 22 years old, 25 years old probably. And his 30 acres he's got there, plus his 160 acres out here. Well, 100 and, was it 140 now? No. See, what's 160 minus 357? Yeah, 157. Got 157 out here. But 80 of it's in river bottom and timber. The other 80 is tillable. So probably not 80. There's probably 77 in river bottom or whatever. I should just buy that. Put it all in the forest reserve. That way I wouldn't have to pay taxes on it. I still have to pay the principal and the interest, but I think I got enough gold for that. I should probably just buy that. I wonder if we could do that. I could just give him gold, American Gold Eagles. He could just sign the deed over to me. He would have the gold in his possession, and he wouldn't have to pay any income taxes on it, or put him in a higher tax bracket. Would that work? Then I wouldn't be paying any interest on. I wouldn't be paying any interest on a loan, and I could still put it into forest reserve and not have to pay taxes on it. I will. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you have to get lawyers involved. You might have to. I don't know if you could just sign over a deed. And then if somebody asks him, well, what'd you sell it for? How much? He could just say $1 because he's family. Because I bought a trailer once, just like that. How much it cost you? $1. You have a receipt? Sure. So, you know, I mean, it's a doable thing. I don't understand why not. I gotta look. Do I have a cranky? I got Sailor, Farmer, Brad V, Tooly, RC, Captain Stacks, Mellow Stacks, SGT, Oregon, Addicted to Precious Metals, and Kraken. That's who I got. So, one of these days I'll get one. Yeah, we'll put the tools right here because we don't need those anymore. But I'll tell you what, guys, I think I did a really good job according to these invoices. And Joe and Diane's Cabin, and Durbin Auction Joe, um, they do a really good job. They will send you an invoice in your email, and you can pay it right there at the invoice, however you want to pay it, credit card, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. And then they send you a paper invoice in your package, so you always have a record of what you got and what you paid. And I have to go out to the shed later when the mail comes, get more mail. Um, and I have more packages coming. So I will see if we're going to do a video tomorrow or not. But I have to see what I paid for these $2 sets here, Canadian. I got two of each of these. I don't know why. So I'm going to sell these, but I got to see what I paid for them first. I don't need two of those. I just want one from each year. That's the deal there. I don't know. I really did not pay very much for this ANAX graded MS-69 1988 Eagle. That is one fine looking 1988 there. That is one fine looking coin. And for what I got it for, wow, man. I am going to tell you right now. I will tell you what I bought that coin for. I'm not going to tell you what I bought everything for, but I bought that coin for $40, folks. That's cheap. That's cheap. If you guys haven't gone to Durbin Auctions, and he has it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, afternoon, evening, you need to hit that auction sometime. It's one of my favorite auctions. I do 3 or 4 auctions. I do Coin Crew, Farmers, sometimes Kittle Coins, and Durbin Auction. I try not to miss Durbins. I try not to miss Coin Crews, and I try not to miss Farmers. And this last Farmers auction, Tuli came up, and she was actually selling some of her stuff. And I bought some of her stuff too. So yeah, it was a good time, man. All right. I'll look up your email and send you. Yeah, when it comes to using metals as currency, I think how you would do it would be because on the day of the sale, the day that we sign paperwork, you would have to go to either Kitco or whoever and get the spot price of gold, just bullion gold. I wouldn't do eagles because there's a premium on that. So I would just do it as bullion. And we would do an exchange. It wouldn't be a sale, it would be an exchange. And the terminology is important. So we would exchange 50 or 77 acres. Yeah, 77 acres for a certain amount of gold bullion valued at as of such and such a date. I think that would be easier to do than using gold as a currency. You know what I'm saying? Because if we use it as a currency, we would have to go by what the United States says a ounce of gold is worth. And what is it? $45 still. And see, I think that's how they plan on getting out of debt, is by revaluing gold. And if they have it valued now at $45, if they revalue gold at $2,400 or $3,000, that wipes out the debt just about and lets them print more money. If the currency is tied to a gold standard, however, they would be handcuffed. They couldn't spend as much money. They couldn't print as much. They couldn't spend as much because it would be tied to the gold. Oh, yeah, it's good. This is how you know that your silver jewelry is actually real. It tarnishes really bad. This chain and this pendant my wife got me a long time ago, back in the late 80s sometime. And I don't wear it much. So when I do take it out to wear it, what the heck happened? I know what happened. It just tarnished sitting in a jewelry box. But that's how you know your stuff's real, man. And that is sterling. A friend of ours made those little butterfly men. They're called Freak Brothers. Yeah, I don't. There is no tax on precious metals in Iowa either. But the only thing Iowa doesn't have a vault. Iowa needs a Iowa State vault. They need to hold gold, platinum, silver, precious metals in that vault as part of the retirement fund for all of the state employees who draw an IPERS, the Iowa Pensioners Endowment Fund, whatever, retirement system. And that needs to be funded. IPERS needs to be funded by, in part, precious metals, not relying totally on stocks and bonds. And I think they're running out of time to do that. Yes, sir, buddy. The Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. I have one of their comics books downstairs yet. No, it's a heavy metal. I got a heavy metal comic book downstairs yet. I don't have any of my Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. And Fat Freddy's cat, who liked to shit in Fat Freddy's shoes. And, you know, there's only some of us that remember the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. But we had two skydivers, Roger and Carl Nelson, when they were younger, used to go out to Hinckley, the drop zone, and they always smoked dope, had long hair, hung out by themselves. They were called the Freak Brothers because somebody said one time when they were coming onto the drop zone where you go to skydive, here come those Freak Brothers again. And they were known as that ever since. Well, Carl and Roger started a club called the Freak Brothers. And the qualifications for being a Freak Brother was it had to be an 8-way formation. So 8 people in a round, in a circle, or a star, they call it then, in a round. 7 of those people had to be Freak Brothers previously. and you had to close as the 8th person. You had to complete the formation as an 8th person. Then you got your freak brother number. Well, I am, and I don't know if you can see it really good on the back of this thing, but I am freak brother 2491. And that was the logo for the Freak Brothers. I got my hat in the other room. My Freak Brother hat in the other room. Well, Roger and Carl went on to start another drop zone called Skydive Sandwich. Carl died in a skydiving accident. Roger kept it going. And that years ago, man. That was another part of my life. Anyway, I just wanted some more people in because I wanted to show you guys what I got, man. I got this, and I paid too much for this. I will admit it, but, and you guys can't read it, so I'll read it for you. It's a 2010 W Mint Mark. What is this? What does it say? It's a $1 coin. It's a disabled veterans. It's an MS-70, NGC MS-70. You can see it's a disabled veterans. I'm a life member of DAV, Disabled American Veterans. I also am a disabled veteran. So yeah, I paid a little bit too much for this one, but you know what? I wanted it, so I got it. Then we have that ANAX MS-69 88 ASE, which was a bargain, a genuine bargain. That thing is pristine. I got, as a GAW, a giveaway. I got a 40% Kennedy, a 1969 Kennedy. Got a GAW win. I don't get them very often, but when I do, I get some neat stuff. I won one of these angel bells on a GAW. One of these bells came from a GAW win. Then I got a 64 Kennedy. This is an FS50. It's a 64D. And it's a nice shape for a 64, buddy. I'm telling you. I don't buy much American silver, but this one went cheap, so I bought it. I also got a 1918 Canadian nickel, the small nickels. I love these things, so I love these things, so I get them when I can, when they're not too expensive. This one wasn't. This year wasn't. Everybody might have their books full of 1915s. I don't fill books. I just keep them in the 2x2s and collect the years. The one I just bought yesterday at that auction cost me $16. This one cost me $7. So it all depends who's filling books with what. But that one was an 18 something, so I wanted that one. I got another $50. This is 63. I get them. This one should be graded. This coin should be graded. That's how perfect this coin is. I mean, if you could find a flaw on this thing, I would be surprised. I have some coins up at Durbin's right now. He's supposed to be giving me his opinion on whether he thinks it's worth grading them or not. I kind of value his opinion. So, and then I got another Hawk Landing Birds of Prey series. I have a couple of these. This one is very, very pretty also. I mean, golly, I can't see I can't see a smudge or a fingerprint or nothing on that coin. If I get some stuff graded, I got coins that should be graded, but man, you can only spend so much money getting stuff graded. How many do I got up at Durbin's? And I got 5 up there. And just say the 2-coin set's worth getting graded. That's going to be $100 there. Because it's a 2-coin set. So it'd have to be a 2-coin case. So yes, and then I got this angel bell. That completes my 3 angel bell set for my 3 daughters' Christmas presents. Wow, you can't hardly see that either. I'll back it up a little bit. Those 3 go to my daughters for Christmas presents. I got, which bell did I get? This, I got this one. I bought this bell also. And I don't know why I bought it. I just wanted a bunch of choices. This one will probably go to my mother-in-law. My oldest daughter wants this one with the it says 1899 on the back. It's got this C on the front, and her married last name is Carroll, so she wanted that one. It's got a nice ring to it. My youngest daughter wanted this one with the sailboat on it. So she's getting that one. And my middle daughter has to choose between these 2 right here. This little plain handle or this bigger one that's got the trees and the road going through it. Now, we're going to just listen to the ring on both of these. Here's the one I just got. Remember that. Here's the one that I had. I like this one better. I like the ring on this one better than on this one. And they're all different, man. They're all different. So I'm thinking she's going to take this one. So I'm going to put that one right there. And then I'll give that one to my mother-in-law. This is my bell. With the pick, the shovel, the pan, nuggets, rope, and pail. It's a mining. Completely different sound. It has 3 years of prospectors. And see if I can find the years for you. Yep. 84, 85, and 86 prospectors. Completely different sound. That's mine. And my snuff box. And this was made with 40% Eisenhower's. So you got an Ike looking at you right there. You got an Ike looking at you right there. And there's the bottom. And I can't even tell you what year this one was. I don't know if I can look in there and see. No. 1970. Looks like a 1971. It's really hard to tell. But it looks like a 71. And this one on the lid, is a 1976 here on the lid. And then this around here is a 1986. Okay, so the bottom is a 1971. The side, because he does that in 2 pieces, 1974, which I got a lot of those. 2 1974s. So the body is done in three pieces actually. This piece right here, this piece right here, which are two 1974 Ikes, and this bottom piece of 1971 Ike. I think 71. Let me check here. Yeah, that's a 71. So there you go, man. It's a 40% snuff box. Most of these Angel Bells, all these Angel Bells are 40%. You can't tell me that they don't have different sounds, because they certainly do. And that's what I got from Durbin's, plus what I had. So that's mine. I don't know. It's cool stuff, man. If you've never been to, hey, Captain Stacks, where you at, buddy? Let me see here. Where's Captain? Captain. Right here. I knew you were in here someplace, Captain. Captain's in here. We got the Captain. Yeah, I wish I had all of those comics yet. I wish I had the comics from when I was a kid, but I know where they went. After we left home, my mother burned all that stuff. They went in the burn barrel. All right, Captain, you can see what we got from Durbin's. The State Disabled Veterans Commemorative. That's an NGC graded. That's a 70. Did I say that's a 70? Yep, that's an MS-70. Then we got this ANAX graded 1988 Eagle. That's an MS-69. We got a 40% Kennedy. We got a 1964 DFS-50 Kennedy. We got a small Canadian nickel. I wish I could have got a big penny to go with that. And then we got a Canadian 50-cent piece that's just immaculate. And then Birds of Prey series. I got another Hawk Landing, which is a really pretty coin too. Oh, that's one thing I will say about Durbin Auction is that a lot of the coins you get from him are just immaculate. Just immaculate. There was a 1959 Canadian set there yesterday that the quarter and the dime are just toned. Oh, beautiful. And the dollar is actually starting to tone too. It was a Voyager dollar. And I have that 1956 set. And the dime and the quarter and my Voyager dollar were toned just about exactly the same way. They're just a beautiful blue and purple. Man. I even asked Joe at the start of the auction, do I have that set? And he said, yes, you do. And he keeps track of my Canadian stuff for me. So anyway, that's what we got. Well, this morning, where was I at? Oh, I was over on Mrs. Coin Crew, and they were playing Factor Crap. And so I did a little chat in there. And then I went over to Trusting God's stream. And I stayed there until he ended, because I told him I had to do a video too. And then he's going to come back on at noon again. I don't know who's on today. But if I got, and you know what, let me just back this up, put the table back out here. You guys have seen that stuff. Maybe I'll just leave it for now. Maybe somebody else will come in and want to see it. I'll just do this. We'll just want to do that. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, can you see me? See me now. Let's sit back in my chair. There, that's better. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Well, I wanted to talk about politics today. Not necessarily politics, but world situation of what's going on in Israel with Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. Saudi Arabia is going to have to step up. They're going to have to take care of the Houthi problem in Yemen because they're neighbors. They're right next door. Saudi Arabia has been very quiet unless they've been doing this sleight of hand stuff. But they have no want for Iran to establish a caliphate in the Middle East because they're completely different forms of Islam. So Saudi Arabia does not want Iran to take over anything. Saudi Arabia is going to have to step up and help Israel by telling Iran, cool your jets, call your boys off, call the dogs off, come home, leave Israel alone. That's what's going to happen. Just saying. I don't think that will break out into a World War III scenario. I think that's a Middle East problem. And I think the Middle East needs to take care of it. However, if the Shia Muslims want to continue to push this caliphate throughout the whole of the Middle East, we may have to have another crusade. That would be a world war. Okay. North Korea been pretty low lately. Not too much happening there. Not going to comment on it. Ukraine and Russia. I think Russia better get its shit together. Better realize that Ukraine is an independent country and they invaded them for no reason. I think that NATO pushed Russia to do what they did. But I think NATO just wanted to keep Russia contained within its borders. Wanted no expansion from them. Well, Russia said, hold my beer. And they're going to try and retake all of the gaps that led to a ground war in Russia during World War II and World War I. And that's through the Bessarabian Gap. That's through Poland. And there's one other gap down there. It was Germany. No, it wasn't Germany. Yeah, Germany, maybe. I don't know. But they're going to try and do that. All right. They don't have the manpower to do that. They may have the power to take over those countries. Azerbaijan, who's all on the border there, Armenia, some of the other ones. But they don't have the manpower to hold it. They can take it, but they can't hold it. They don't have the demographics for it. They've been importing mercenaries because Putin does not want to have another conscription. If he does that, it's really going to make him unpopular with the population, more so than he is now. And I think he would be looking at a coup attempt at that point. I think the best thing to do would be to get out of Crimea, get out of Ukraine, say, I'm sorry, mea culpa, and maybe make some trade agreements and port use agreements in Crimea. I think cooperation rather than bullets is the way to go right now. But hey, what do I know? I see Putin being overthrown eventually. He will be overthrown, or he'll die of natural causes, one or the other. And the same thing happening in China. I have heard reports, read articles, listened to YouTube videos that Xi Jinping has been sidelined. All right. That doesn't mean he's been killed off. It doesn't mean his health is bad, although it could be. Um, I think he has done so much damage there to international relations, and his blustering with Taiwan and Philippines in the South China Sea. Countries are having enough of him, and their economy is so friggin' bad that he has deposed how many generals? 9 generals now in the Army, Air Force, the Rocket Force, especially. I think 5 of the generals came out of the Rocket Force that he threw out for corruption. Well, those are what we call the oligarchs in Russia and China also. The corruption is rampant. They see their money disappearing, and they want their money. So in order to do that, the CCP as a form of government will continue to be the CCP. And China will still be communist, but there'll be a little bit more democratic communist, more friendly to the West and its ideas. Because as it stands right now, those people, those oligarchs, those corruptors, the ones with all the money, see their money slipping away. And the economy is in the toilet. When their economy was doing the best was when they had the best trade relations and diplomatic relations with the West. And they wish to return to that time. I don't think it's going to happen, but diplomatic relations could improve, back their ass off Taiwan and the South China Sea, and quit making the advances with the Russians, like in Alaska, just in international waters, just outside our territorial waters, just outside, or following our fleets around. So I think that's what's happening in China. Don't get me wrong, China plays a long game. They know how to play the long game. They play chess, we play checkers. By opening up relations and being a little bit more friendly to the West, they think that will lower our guard and they will be able to sneak some stuff in, steal some more secrets, steal some more technology, sneak more people in the United States. They're playing the long game. Plus, they get to keep all their money then, the oligarchs. And I think the same thing is happening in Russia. The oligarchs there, because of the sanctions from the West and the rest of the world, has really put a damper on their economy, which puts a damper on the oligarchs' money. And also, Putin has kicked some people out for corruption. No kidding. So I think he's got pressure that way. and he's got pressure from the people. They're ambivalent about the war right now, but if he was to do another forced conscription, I think there'd be a lot of animosity toward Putin over that. That's why he's using a lot of foreign mercenaries. And now with Ukraine pushing into Russia in two different places, taking the fight to the enemy. The best defense is a good offense. And Ukraine is saying, why stay stagnant and fight these battles on these established fronts? To hell with that. Let's take it to the enemy. And that's what they're doing. How far are they from Moscow? 180 kilometers? I think Putin needs to be very wary of what he's doing. I think his top general is an incompetent fool, but I'd have fired his ass a long time ago. Just speaking from an old military man's mind. But he's one of Putin's closest friends. But you remember what Putin did to another one of his close friends? Staged a plane crash for his ass. So, we'll see what happens. That war there, I don't believe that one will ever go nuclear unless it's just tactical battlefield nukes. But I think even Russia realizes that if they want to take Ukraine and occupy it, they can't do it while it's irradiated. Not for several hundred years anyway. So it'd just be a wasteland. All of those agricultural lands and mines and all the other stuff that Ukraine produces would be useless. And I think Russia understands that. The one I can't see going nuclear is the Middle East. I can't see that happening. Israel nukes Iran. Saudi Arabia nukes Israel. And there we go. Israel gets nuked. Saudi Arabia gets nuked. All that oil will be useless for thousands of years. Iran produces oil. Saudi Arabia produces oil. Iraq, Kuwait produce oil. So Syria and Turkey would have something to say about that. So you can see how that could escalate quite quickly, I think. That's the one I would be watching. I'm not a geopolitical expert, but that's the one I'd be watching. United States, Canada, and Mexico need to strengthen NAFTA too. We need better diplomatic relations with Mexico. Canada, until Trudeau and his administration are out, is a lost cause. Their administration is like our administration right now, or like France's, or like Britain's. Full bunch of World Economic Forum young leaders. And look what's happening to those countries. Major major protests in Great Britain, in France, the Netherlands. There were major protests in Canada until Canada became communist and shut off everybody's money. So, until Canada gets rid of that asshole that's in power right now and purges the government of all those World Economic Forum young leader graduates, same thing will continue to happen. We have those people in our government also. Back in the day of McCarthy, anybody remember Senator McCarthy and the great communist purge of the, what was it, 50s, 60s? He was right. Our government has become full of leftist, socialist, which is communist light, that it needs to be purged again. And if you don't think so, just look at the last assassination attempt on ex-President Trump or former President Trump. And I've heard a lot of theories espoused about either it was gross incompetence, DEI hires, or it was allowed to happen, or it was pre-planned, or. All right. I am going to lay it out for you. What I think. I spent 3 years, count them 3, in the 1st Infantry Division, HHC, that means headquarters, and headquarters company, 2nd Brigade. So I was in a brigade headquarters company. I was the radio electronics repairman, not an infantry guy. I repaired radios and electronics, telephones and switchboards, that kind of stuff. Okay, I got out. I stayed in the inactive ready reserve for 1 year and 7 months, I think, 6 months. I joined a reserve unit in Wilmer, Minnesota, the 825th Supply Company. They took orders in from supported units for all kinds of stuff. Stuff to work on truck parts, radio parts, anything that the units needed for parts or for office supplies or for toilet brushes, whatever. They sent it to us, and we sent it to the various people that supplied that. It all came to us. We bundled it up and sent it off to the unit. I was the head radio operator repair guy for that company, the chief radio operator, and I repaired them also. All right. My company that I was working for at the time went broke, and I didn't have a job, and I did what only a smart man does, went right back in the Army. I enlisted for the 10th Special Forces Group, Fort Devens, Massachusetts. Guaranteed on my contract. That's where I was going. I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. I went through jump school. Went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Went through Special Forces qualification course. Went to Fort Devens, Massachusetts. I spent 3 years in Signal Company, Base Operations Platoon 2, the receiver section, receiving messages from deployed A teams, A detachments out in the field, receiving messages, breaking out the code, passing it to the message center, so it was distributed to whoever it had to go. And our transmitter section sent those encrypted messages out to the deployed A detachments. We also conducted radio checks with detachments who are in CONUS or in who are in training, who are in their green cycle or red cycle, red and blue cycles, and they would conduct monthly radio checks. So checking out their equipment, make sure everything works, and we would do radio checks with them. Okay. Did that for 3 years. In 1983, when I got out of the 10th group, I enlisted for the 1st Battalion, HHC, 1st Battalion, 12th Special Forces Group in Richard Scabar Air Force Base in Kansas City, because I was getting married. When I got out of the 10th Special Forces Group, I got married a month later. I enrolled in DeVry Institute of Technology in Kansas City, and so I joined the reserve unit down there. Okay, so I was going to school, going to drill, going to ATs, just got married, my wife's working, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what was I down there? Chief radio operator. Again. When I went through the Special Forces qualification course, I went through as a radio operator. Hey, you guys got to do something, so you might as well do something that you know. Anyway, that was in 1980. I got kicked out of the Special Forces qualification course in phase 2 because I could not copy Morse code manually faster than 13 word groups, send and receive. Okay. Tried to talk to Colonel Mize, who was the head of the school and a Medal of Honor winner, by the way, to let us recycle into either weapons or demo, and he wouldn't do it. Okay. So that's when I went to the 10th Special Forces Group as a radio operator. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand Army wisdom, but I couldn't do it there, but I could do it up there for 3 years. Okay, whatever. So in 1986, when I enlisted with HHC 1st Battalion 12th Group, I went through the Q course again, the qualification course again. I had kept myself in shape for 6 friggin' years, physical shape, good enough to go through that course again, which I did. And I went through as a demo man this time. I went through as a 18 Charlie or a Special Forces engineer. Build it and blow it up. So after I graduated from DeVry and got a job with the Department of the Army up in Greenwood, Illinois, which is a near western suburb of Chicago, we moved up there. I went to work for the Department of the Army, again, as an electronics mechanic or electronics repairman, fixing radios. That was my civilian job for the Department of the Army. And I joined the B Company, 1st Battalion, 12th Special Forces Group in Arlington Heights, Illinois, which is a northwest suburb of Chicago. And I was placed on, what team was it? Team 121, ODA 121, as a demo guy. But I got switched because that was kind of a training transition team. I got switched to ODA 1224, 1224, as a demo man. And I also served as an assistant radio operator because I know that crap. Well, we stayed on 124 for, many years. I don't know, 7 years. Yeah, something like that. For 7 years, became an E5, an E6, an E7. So a sergeant, a staff sergeant, a sergeant first class. And when I got to sergeant first class, they started sending me to other schools. I went to Halo School, which is now part of the Q course, but I went to Halo School, high altitude, low opening, military skydiving. I went to that school, went to rough terrain parachute training out in Missoula, Montana with the Department of Agriculture firefighters out there, learning to jump into little drop zones on sides of mountains with a whole bunch of tools to fight fires, but mainly to learn to jump into those little postage stamp size drop zones up in the mountains. They sent me to O&I school, or Operations and Intel School, which I passed on the commandant's list. And after O&I school, I was promoted to Master Sergeant and put in a team. They reshuffled the teams. They were reshuffling personnel. So I became the team sergeant, or the operations sergeant, 18 Zulu, for ODA 1222, 1222. And I was operations sergeant there, I don't know, 3-4 years before we were deactivated in 1995. And in 1995, because I had a civilian job with the Department of the Army, I had to be in the United States Army Reserves, and I could not go to the National Guard, which is where I wanted to go with the 20th Special Forces Group. I had to go, and I was really close to retirement, I think 14 months. So I went to the 85th Training Division. I forget which regiment, and I don't really give a shit. I spent 14 months there. The 14 worst months of my life, because after being in Special Forces for 11, 12 years, I sure as hell did not want to go back to Big Army. But that's what I did. Standing formations 3 times a day. This is what you're going to do. This is when you're going to do it. This is how you're going to do it. Oh, God, forgive me. All right. Being an ops and training guy, I told you all that to tell you this. Being an ops and training guy for all those years and being on a team. What happened to Trump in Pennsylvania, I believe, was a training exercise. That's the only way it can be explained. It was a training exercise for new hires. They used Trump as a target because they didn't give a shit whether he lived or died. They used that kid as a patsy, as a training dummy. They used him as a training dummy, and they killed him so he wouldn't talk. They didn't care if he missed Trump or hit Trump or what. They wanted to train the new Secret Service agents. That's what they did. Now, they're not only guilty of treason, they're guilty of murder in the first degree. How come that person was allowed to use a rangefinder, carry a backpack, kite a ladder over there, climb up on a building where law enforcement officials were in the building? In the building. If you know anything about tin buildings, you can hear somebody crawling on a roof from the inside, even if it's insulated with spray foam insulation. You could hear the racket. That boy up there wasn't totally quiet, I can guarantee you. He was trying to be quiet, but he wasn't totally quiet. Why weren't there Secret Service agents on that roof to start with? Don't give me that slope roof shit. That was almost a flat pitch, goddamn near. It had a little pitch to it, not much. The other Secret Service agents behind Trump, or beside him, were on a much steeper pitch. The snipers, the counter snipers. That building was within 145 yards of that stage. There should have been 2 agents on that roof. Should have been one on that one and one on the one that's connected to it over there. There should have been a team on the water tower, 2-man team on the water tower. Every building on that fairground should have had a Secret Service agent on it. And roving patrols around them. Also, protocol dictates you don't wait until a shooter shoots at his target. When you see the target, it has a gun, you shoot it immediately before he can do any damage. I'm sorry, that was a training exercise, pure and simple. That was bullshit. I set up training exercises like that. You can't tell me that was anything but. All right, off my soapbox. Now, am I a Trump boy fan? No, I'm not. Do I agree with all of Trump's policies? No, I certainly don't. Do I think he's the best president in the world? No, I certainly don't. Is he better than what we got? Damn straight. Is he better than the one before? Damn straight. Is he better than the one before him? Damn straight. So, is he better than the Bush 2? Is he better than Bush 1? Yep, all of them. I think he'd have to go back to Reagan, probably to find a president that's as good or better than Trump. It certainly won't be Carter. Certainly won't be Nixon. Certainly won't be Johnson. I think you'd have to go back to Reagan and then to Eisenhower. Because every president we've had since Reagan has sucked. War-mongering assholes. And then Obama was never qualified to be a president, never held an office, was a community organizer, may or may not have been born in the United States. And I said may or may not have been. I've seen proof, but not conclusive proof. Okay. And he said he was, or they were going to fundamentally transform America, the United States. And they've been doing it ever fucking since. And most people, 50% of the people in this country, too stupid to realize it and will still vote. No matter who, blue. Democrats, this isn't your old Democratic Party of JFK. JFK was a good president. And if I had been allowed to vote at that time when I was 9 years old, I would have voted for him. And I probably would have voted for his brother had he not been assassinated also. But you notice every president gets assassinated who does things that the deep state, the communists in our country don't like. Kennedy wanted to do away with the CIA or really rein in his power. Assassinated. Bobby Kennedy really wanted to rein in organized crime. Assassinated. And I think that's because organized crime owed the CIA a favor. And so they did it. Let's see. Who else was assassinated? Well, he tried to assassinate Reagan. He lived. Tried to assassinate former President Trump. Anybody else in that little mix there? Tried to assassinate was it senators? They were playing tennis. I forget. I'd have to go back and look that up. Republicans, by the way. Now, am I a two-party kind of guy? Nope. I think the two-party system needs to go away. I think they need to allow a third or fourth party. Libertarian would be a good party to allow, I think. And I'm not sure what the next party would be. America First Party. Probably. But there needs to be more than two parties because the two parties have morphed into one with outliers on either side. You have some true Southern Democrats yet. Some, very few. I call them moderate Democrats. You have some conservative, actual conservative Republicans yet. Not many. There's some. Everybody else is one big happy party. Why? Because they're making money hand over fist. Jesus Christ. Look at Nancy Pelosi. You talk about insider trading. Look at how many Republicans and Democrats are multi-millionaires, if not billionaires, because they're trading on laws that they're enacting. They know how it's going to impact those industries before it happens. They buy and they sell stock before it. It should be illegal. Illegal. Okay, another thing. Politics was never meant to be a career path. A representative was elected by the people to go to Washington, represent their views, go the fuck home and go get a job. See how the regular people live because you're a regular person. Then if you want to get reelected again, run again. Give someone else a chance. Because not everybody in the state thinks the same goddamn way. I think there should be term limits. A representative serves what? 2 terms or 2 years or is it 4 and has to be reelected in off years, Senate, so 2 years. They should get their health care benefits. They should be able to contribute and get matching funds. The 3% for what is it? 4% on 5. So if you invest 5% of your pay into the thrift savings plan, the TSP, which all government employees have, which all all military people have, the thrift savings plan. If you invest 5% of your money into that, the government will match it dollar for dollar for 3%, and then 50 cents on a dollar for the next 2. So you're getting 4% on 5. You're a fool not to do that. Okay. And then you can put as much extra in there as you want. It doesn't get matched, but it goes into those funds that are in there. They have the G fund, which is a government fund, which is bonds and treasuries. And they have the S fund, which is something else. And they have the other fund. I think they've expanded it now to 5 different funds. But yes, I had it while I worked for the government. When I was in the Army, I got regular, what did I get? Vietnam veterans, the Vietnam GI Bill. Because I went in in 1975, 30 days before the official end of the Vietnam War. So I'm forever and a day known as a Vietnam era veteran. I am not a Vietnam veteran. Not anywhere close. I enlisted in 75. They quit sending people over in 73. They had everybody out by 74. Anyway, I'm more of a Desert Storm veteran because I was in the 12th Special Forces Group, B Company, 1st Battalion, 12th Special Forces Group, Arlington Heights, Illinois, when we got alerted for Desert Storm. We never got mobilized. Reasons for that? We had a group commander that was running for political office and didn't want to get mobbed. Sorry, son of a bitch. Just like Tim Walz with no balls. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Enough of that shit. So, get their health care while they're in there. The same as I got as a Department of the Army civilian employee. The TSP, while they're in there, the same as a Department of the Army civilian employee. Then when you go home, that quits. No retirement benefits. No, none. No retirement benefits whatsoever. How about the Senate? All right, the Senate serves 4 years each term. Term limits. Senators, you can serve 3 terms, 12 years, maybe 50. I might go 4 terms. I might go 15 years. That's it. You get the same health benefits while you're in. You get the same TSP while you're in. You don't get a retirement for life when you get out. You go home and get a fucking job. Make your own goddamn retirement. You got that TSP money. If you were smart, you put a lot in there. Okay? Yeah? You got that money. Just like every other goddamn employee's got. I think that'd take care of it. Right there. You make that insider trading illegal. They have to put all of their assets into a trust fund. They have to have a trustee. They can't have any say in what happens. And the trust cannot buy and sell stocks while they are a representative or a senator. Simple as that. It's very, very simple. And that's why they want to kill Trump, because Trump will make some of those changes, I'm hoping. I know Kamala will not make any of those changes. Kamala Harris has the IQ of and I don't want to say donkey and denigrate the donkey. She has the IQ of a fucking golden lab. That's what she has. She's told what to do, what to say. She has trouble reading a teleprompter, but she can. A hell of a lot better than Biden anyway. Biden is still our president. And he is a senile old man. You know, the donors made it very clear to him, or to the Democratic committee, that Biden either step down from being reelected and let Kamala take the delegates and the money, or they were going to invoke the 25th Amendment on him. And he took the easy way out. He's still our president till January. God help us. But he's not calling shots, never was. Obama's calling the shots. Always has been. Or the people behind Obama. I believe it's the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, World Economic Forum, the Trilateral Commission, that cabal is running this country. They have representatives from all those organizations condensed down into 2 or 3 people who are telling our politicians what to do. And they're doing it. Okay, so we don't have to worry about Biden pushing the buttons because he couldn't get the fucking briefcase open. Our army is becoming woke. There are DEI hires every fucking where. And like Tyler said, it's a cultural shift. Nobody goes into a job thinking, all right, I'm going to start at the bottom, going to work hard, I'm going to excel, I'm going to learn, going to work my way up, going to be there every day, early, late, work my ass off, and get somewhere. No. A person gets hired now, and they want to know what their days off are. It's there is no meritocracy anymore. If you come and to a business and you check the fucking boxes, you're not white, you're a woman or claim to be a woman, you're gay or claim to be gay. And so if you claim to be a woman, that makes you a trans, right? Okay, here's what I'm gonna say about trans people. And you all fucking listen. And gender dysphoria is real. Has been since the beginning of time. You are born in the wrong body. So what? You were born, you weren't aborted, you're here, live your life, be happy with who the fuck you are. Now, for those individuals who can't and who decide to transition, and you go through all the hormonal stuff, you go through all the medications, you go through all the psychological things, the mental things that go with it. You go through all of that. You go through all the physical procedures to turn yourself from a man into a woman or a woman into a man. You do the whole thing. Kudos to you. Bravo. You are a strong son of a bitch. But the sad reality is people who do that will more than likely commit suicide, will self-delete. Before their time. We have always had gay people. I have served beside several gay people. If you do your job, we can be social. I don't know that we'll ever be really close friends, but we can be social friends. Work side by side. If you got my back in combat, I got yours, buddy. Same thing with females in the military. If we train to the same standard, none of this dual standard shit. We train to the same standard and you can do the job, I got your back. If you got mine. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, where was I going with all that? I said all of that to say this, but I forgot what this was. Good God Almighty! I better look at chat. Okay, we haven't had a whole lot of chat, so hey, freaking awesome! All right, thank you. Hey, and Chappie's here too. I don't know. People need to go back and look at this and maybe get a clue as to meritocracy counts. If you're hired for a job, can you do the job? If you're hired for a job and you can't do the job, can you get the training to become proficient at that job? Like I said, yeah, it was a cultural shift. Maybe that's what I was going with that. But if you're hired for a job just because you check boxes, I want nothing to do with you. Nothing. Because I know what kind of a person you're. I know what kind of a person you are. I know what kind of a employee you're going to be. And they get away with it because HR, and then court cases, and then lawyers. Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking sniveling, coward, whiny bitches. All right. We are at 2 hours. So I am going to end this and go do something. I want to thank you all very much for coming, listening to my rant, and for checking out my Durbin package. If you guys haven't gone and seen Joe Durbin at Joe Durbin's auction and his wife Diane, who has her own website, Diane's Cabin, might want to check that out too. All you homie ecky people. Good sites, both of them. Good people, both of them. Wonderful auctions. If you haven't been there, please go check them out at least one time. I guarantee you'll like it. You'll be back. We have a lot of fun in chat. It's really a fun time. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Remember, live free or die. And take that to heart this election cycle. Do you want to live free? Or do you want to have to die fighting for it? See ya.